Did you know that an octopus has 3 hearts? Yes, you heard it right, 3. This captivating creature doesn't stop there though. 2 of these hearts work exclusively to move blood beyond the animal's gills, while the third keeps circulation flowing for the organs. The third heart actually stops beating when the octopus swims, explaining the species' penchant for crawling rather than swimming, which exhausts them. And that's just the beginning. Let's dive into 65 quick facts that will make you the most interesting person in the room. Keeping with the theme of animals, did you know that snails can sleep for up to 3 years? Yes, it's true. When conditions aren't ideal, these slow movers enter a state of suspended animation that can last quite some time. Now, let's dive into more surprising animal facts. Ever wondered about the world's longest living mammal? It's the bowhead whale, with an impressive lifespan that can reach over 200 years. That's more than double the average human lifespan. And speaking of marine life, sharks are truly unique. They're the only fish that can blink with both eyes. A bizarre fact, isn't it? Moving to the skies, let's talk about bats. No, not their reputation as creatures of the night, but their diet. A small brown bat can eat up to 1,000 mosquitoes in a single hour. Let's shift to the insect world. Ants, despite their tiny size, are incredibly strong. They can carry up to 50 times their body weight. Imagine lifting a car. That's what it's like for an ant carrying a crumb. Now picture a chameleon. Unique creatures, aren't they? But their distinctiveness isn't just skin deep. Their tongues are extremely fast and can stretch more than twice their body length to catch prey. Continuing with reptiles, we have the Komodo dragon. The largest living lizard, it has about 60 razor-sharp teeth that it uses to devour its prey. And let's not forget about our feathered friends. Did you know that ostriches have the largest eyes of any land animal? Each eye is bigger than its brain. Lastly, let's talk about an animal close to home. Domestic cats. They spend nearly 70% of their lives sleeping. That's about 16 hours a day. Our world is teeming with fascinating creatures, each more intriguing than the last. Their habits, their skills, their peculiarities all serve to remind us of the incredible diversity of life on our planet. Now, aren't these animal facts simply astounding? But wait, there's more. Moving on to the realm of nature, did you know that a single lightning bolt has enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread? Quite electrifying, isn't it? Now, let's plunge into the world of rain. A raindrop, seemingly insignificant, travels at an average speed of 17 miles per hour. That's faster than you'd walk to the local grocery store. Speaking of water, did you know that the largest waterfall in the world is underwater? Yes, it's true. The Denmark Strait Cataract, located in the Atlantic Ocean, is 3 times the height of Angel Falls, the tallest land-based waterfall. Moving from water to land, let's talk about the Sahara Desert. The Sahara is so vast that it's comparable in size to the entire United States. Imagine that, a desert spanning from New York to California. While we're on the topic of deserts, did you know that Antarctica is technically the largest desert on Earth? Yes, a desert doesn't necessarily mean sand and heat. It refers to an area that receives very little precipitation. Now, let's soar into the sky. The Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen. That's why it's often referred to as the lungs of the Earth. From the vibrant life of rainforests, let's move to something seemingly lifeless: rocks. The oldest rocks on Earth, found in western Greenland, are nearly 4 billion years old. That's almost as old as the Earth itself. And speaking of age, have you ever wondered about the world's oldest tree? It's a bristlecone pine named Methuselah, and it's over 4,800 years old. It was already a century old when the first pyramid was built in Egypt. From trees, let's flutter to butterflies. A butterfly has taste receptors on its feet. Yes, they taste their food by standing on it. Lastly, let's talk about the power of plants. Bamboo is the fastest growing plant on Earth. It can grow up to 35 inches in a single day. Nature never ceases to amaze, does it? But let's shift gears now. Turning our attention to the human body, did you know that the average person will produce enough saliva in their lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools? That's right. And while we're on the topic of saliva, it's worth noting that it contains natural painkillers. So next time you bite your tongue, remember your body has you covered. And speaking of tongues, no two are alike. Just like fingerprints, everyone has a unique tongue print. Now let's talk about the heart. This little engine that beats over 100,000 times a day. That's more than 36 million times a year. Moving on to the eyes. Blinking might seem like a minor habit, but the average person blinks around 15 to 20 times per minute. That adds up to over 20,000 blinks a day. And while we are still on the eyes, did you know that they stay the same size from birth, while your nose and ears continue to grow throughout your life? Let's dive deeper. Our bodies are home to about 39 trillion bacteria, vastly outnumbering our own cells. Don't worry, most of them are friendly and crucial for our health. Now, imagine if we could harness the energy in the human body. A single human brain generates more electrical impulses in a day than all the telephones in the world. Speaking of the brain, it's also a storage powerhouse. It can hold as much information as the entire internet. That's a lot of cat videos. We've got more bones as babies than we do as adults. We start off with around 300, but as we grow, some of them fuse together, leaving us with 206. And here's a fun one. The human body glows. Yes, but unfortunately the light we emit is 1,000 times weaker than our eyes can see. The human body is truly a marvel, isn't it? But our journey doesn't end here. Venturing out into space, did you know that if two pieces of the same type of metal touch in space, they will permanently bond? This phenomenon, known as cold welding, happens because the atoms of the individual pieces of metal can't tell the difference between their own atoms and those of the piece they are in contact with. So they meld together, creating a single solid piece. Now let's dive into more mind-boggling space facts. The largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter, is so big that over 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. But that's nothing compared to the Sun. You could fit 1 million Earths inside the Sun. Did you know that a day on Venus is longer than its year? Venus has an incredibly slow rotation on its axis, taking 243 Earth days to complete one rotation. But it orbits the Sun in just 225 Earth days. Speaking of time, if you were to shout in space, even if someone was right next to you, they wouldn't hear you. Space is a vacuum, meaning it has no air to carry sound waves. And let's talk about the speed of light. It's so fast that it can circle the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. Yet even at this incredible speed, light takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us from the Sun. Lastly, our Milky Way galaxy is just one of an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each of these galaxies has hundreds of billions of stars, and each star could have a planet, or 2, or 7. Space is indeed the final frontier, full of mysteries and wonders. But for now, let's come back to Earth. So, there you have it, 65 quick and fascinating facts that can make any conversation more interesting. We've journeyed through the bizarre animal kingdom, marveling at the octopus with its 3 hearts and the immortal jellyfish, forever cycling between a mature state and a baby one. We've dived into the wonders of nature, from the towering heights of the tallest tree in the world, the Hyperion, to the depths of the ocean where pressure is so intense that it's equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets piled on top of you. We've explored the human body, a marvel of biological engineering where we learnt that the human brain operates on 10 watts of power, the same energy needed to power a light bulb, and that our bodies are made up of 7 octillion atoms. From there we soared into the cosmos, where the concept of cold welding astounded us. In space, without the presence of air or water, 2 pieces of the same type of metal will bond together as if they were one. But remember, these are just some highlights from our trip through the realms of knowledge. There are countless more fascinating facts out there waiting for you to discover them. Remember, knowledge is power, and with these facts in your arsenal, you're sure to be the most interesting person in any room. Until next time, stay curious.